Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Artistic versatility and style. Jennifer Ehle is widely praised for her subtle, emotionally intelligent performances. She has a unique ability to convey layers of thought and emotion with minimal dialogue, often through nuanced facial expressions and body language. Directors and critics alike admire her classical training combined with a naturalistic, grounded acting style. She is particularly adept at period pieces, which is evident from her iconic role as Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, 1995, but she seamlessly transitions into contemporary roles with equal strength. Ehle brings authority, elegance, and empathy to her characters, whether she's playing a 19th-century heroine, a modern doctor, or a political figure. Glowing star. Notable film roles. The King's Speech, 2010, played Myrtle Logue, the supportive wife of Lionel Logue, King George VI's speech therapist. Contagion, 2011, portrayed Dr. Ali Hextall, a CDC scientist at the center of a pandemic. Her composed, clear-eyed performance was praised for its realism. Zero Dark 30, 2012, played a CIA operative, adding to her repertoire of calm, sharp, intelligent roles in tense settings. She said, 2022, took on the role of Laura Madden, one of the first women to go on the record about Harvey Weinstein's abuse, helping tell the story of the #MeToo movement. TV, television and streaming. A Gifted Man, 2011-12, played the ghost of a surgeon's deceased ex-wife in this CBS medical drama. The Looming Tower, 2018, as a senior CIA official in this dramatization of the events leading to 9/11, Ehle brought steely realism to a character caught in political tension. Dead Ringers, 2023, in this dark psychological thriller, she portrayed Rebecca Parker, a controlling financier whose icy presence added menace to the show's central conflict. 1923, 2022-23, a gritty performance as Sister Mary, depicting the cruelty of assimilation-era institutions in a Western context. Face Mask Theatre Legacy. In addition to her 2 Tony Awards, Ehle has performed in a range of Shakespearean and contemporary works. Her classical theatre work includes roles in Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Richard III, Elizabeth, Design for Living, Gilda. She is especially admired for her work with Tom Stoppard, particularly The Coast of Utopia, a trilogy about Russian intellectuals, where she starred alongside Billy Crudup and Ethan Hawke. Trophy awards and recognition. BAFTA TV Award, Best Actress, 1996, Tony Awards 2 wins, 2000 and 2007, Screen Actors Guild Awards, nominated as part of Ensemble Cast's Peabody Award, as part of Dead Ringers, 2023. Despite a low-key public persona, Ehle has consistently worked with some of the best directors and writers in both the UK and US. Family woman. Girl. Personal and professional balance. Ehle is known for keeping her personal life private and maintaining a low celebrity profile, allowing her work to speak for itself. After the birth of her children, she stepped back from major roles for several years, demonstrating her commitment to family while continuing to choose powerful, character-driven projects. Collaboration with directors and writers. Jennifer Ehle has consistently attracted the attention of respected directors who value strong, quietly commanding performers. Among her notable collaborators, Joe Wright, Pride and Prejudice director, has cited her portrayal of Elizabeth Bennet in the 1995 miniseries as one of the finest adaptations of the Austen heroine, capturing both wit and warmth. Steven Soderbergh cast her in Contagion, trusting her to portray science and urgency with understated realism, contributing to the film's eerie believability. Tom Stoppard, whose intellectually rich plays require razor-sharp timing and emotional depth, has repeatedly cast Ehle in his work, The Real Thing, The Coast of Utopia, showcasing her skill with intricate language and ideas. Dizzy understated stardom. Elle is sometimes referred to as a hidden gem or actor's actor. She hasn't chased Hollywood stardom in the traditional sense. Instead, she's built a career on choosing substantive roles in prestige projects, turning down more commercial or celebrity-driven parts. She originally shot scenes as Catelyn Stark for Game of Thrones but dropped out before the series aired. Michelle Fairley replaced her, prioritizing projects with artistic integrity or strong writing over box office appeal. This selectivity has given her an unusually high-quality hit rate. Nearly all her work is well-reviewed. Brain intellectual depth and emotional range. Elle is exceptional at blending emotional availability with intellectual complexity. In characters like Elizabeth Bennet or Laura Madden, she said, she navigates social intelligence, moral courage, and private vulnerability. This makes her ideal for period dramas where subtlety is key, psychological thrillers, dead ringers, biopics, and real-life stories. 0-30, she said. Her ability to listen on screen, really listen, sets her apart. She often says more in silence than others do in pages of dialogue. Receipt, critical reception, and cultural impact. While she may not be a household name in the way some of her peers are, critics consistently praise her. The New York Times has called her a master of restraint and interiority. The Guardian has described her as radiating calm intelligence. Even under fire, audiences often remember her as the definitive Elizabeth Bennet, with many Austen fans ranking her above even Keira Knightley or Lily James for that role. She's also become a go-to figure for roles involving conscience and conviction, whether it's a scientist, a mother, or a moral witness. Anti-clockwise Arrow's recent resurgence in recent years. Elle's work in Dead Ringers and 1923 has introduced her to a new generation of viewers. These roles show her range, from icy capitalism to the harsh realities of historical abuse. Her performance in Dead Ringers, in particular, was described as chillingly elegant and the embodiment of quiet, controlling power. Glowing star legacy in progress. Jennifer Elle has never been about celebrity. Her legacy lies in her craft, consistency, and credibility. She stands alongside actors like Olivia Colman, Harriet Walter, and Laura Linney, women known for their intelligence, restraint, and ability to ground any project they're part of. She's likely to continue taking on roles that matter more than they sparkle, and that's what makes her work so enduring. A bridge between British and American acting traditions. Jennifer Elle's career uniquely straddles the British and American acting worlds. Not just by nationality, she's a dual citizen, but in her performance sensibility. She merges British classical rigor, honed through training at the Central School of Speech and Drama, and frequent Shakespearean roles, American emotional openness, visible in her more intimate, internalized performances in contemporary dramas. This duality allows her to work fluently across genres, from Jane Austen adaptations to CDC thrillers to Western historical dramas, always feeling authentic to the setting. Admission tickets. Stage excellence. Beyond the Tonys. While she's won 2 Tony Awards, The Real Thing and The Coast of Utopia, what's most impressive is her reputation among peers and playwrights. Tom Stoppard has spoken of her clarity and intelligence, noting how she makes complex characters accessible without simplifying them. Her performances on Broadway and the West End have earned consistent critical acclaim, especially for her emotional grounding and crisp language work. She's also performed at the Royal Shakespeare Company and the National Theatre, 2 of the most elite venues for English-speaking actors. Books. Acting pedigree and legacy. Jennifer Elle is the daughter of Rosemary Harris, a Tony-winning and Oscar-nominated actress who also played Elizabeth Bennet's mother, Mrs. Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, 1995. John L., a respected American author and cultural historian. This artistic environment gave Jennifer a rare insight into the seriousness of craft from a young age. She once noted that growing up with actors around her meant she viewed fame as something fleeting, and work as what really mattered. That background may explain her measured pace and deliberate choices across her decades-long career. The quiet force archetype L has become a defining example of a now recognized screen persona, the quiet force. These characters aren't flashy or loud, but they hold entire emotional universes beneath the surface. Examples include Contagion, a scientist who literally saves the world with no fanfare. She Said, a survivor whose calm delivery underlines the cost of speaking out. 1923, a nun who embodies the cruel systems of forced assimilation in a single look. She represents a kind of moral seriousness and emotional gravity that anchors stories in reality, which is especially valuable in the current media landscape full of spectacle. Upward trend renewed visibility in the streaming era, with streaming platforms creating prestige dramas with nuanced roles for older women. Elle's stature has only grown. Dead Ringers, Prime Video, brought her a Peabody Award and a whole new audience. 1923, Paramount Plus, introduced her to fans of the Yellowstone universe. The Comey Rule, Showtime, she played Laura Ingraham opposite Brendan Gleeson's Trump, a polarizing but memorable role. In each of these, she brings subtle menace, warmth, or strength, never stealing scenes but enriching everyone she's in. Pushpin Select Filmography highlights. Here's a curated list of must-watch Jennifer L. performances, showing her range. Title role: Where to Watch, subject to region, Pride and Prejudice, 1995, Elizabeth Bennet BritBox, Amazon Prime The Real Thing, 2000, Stage, Annie not available on video, script highly recommended. The King's Speech, 2010, Myrtle Logue Amazon Prime, Max Contagion, 2011, Dr. Ali Hextall Max, Amazon Prime Zero Dark 30, 2012, Jessica Netflix. Prime A Quiet Passion, 2016, Vinnie Dickinson Canopy, Amazon Dead Ringers, 2023, Rebecca Parker Prime Video 1923, 2022-23, Sister Mary Paramount Plus Crystal Ball. What's next for Jennifer L.? While not heavily publicized, she continues to take on high-caliber projects. Her roles often reflect her interest in stories with historical, ethical, or literary weight. Given the industry's shift toward character-driven prestige content, especially roles for mature women, she's well-positioned for even more critical success. Acting method and craft: Jennifer L. is not method in the strict sense, but her performances suggest a deep emotional immersion, combined with technical control. Interviews and reviews consistently highlight several signature traits of her approach. Stillness as strength: she often conveys power and presence through calm, composed performances. Precision with language: likely influenced by her stage background, she has remarkable clarity and rhythm in delivering both classical and modern dialogue. Emotional layering: her characters rarely feel performed, they unfold slowly, with depth and subtext. You feel like you're witnessing a person's internal life in real time. She rarely rehearses in a self-promotional way, choosing instead to let the work speak for itself. Film frames behind the scenes, anecdotes and lesser-known facts declining. Game of Thrones. Elle was originally cast as Catelyn Stark in the unaired pilot but left the project, reportedly to spend more time with her infant daughter. She's said in interviews that she has no regrets about the decision. On working with her mother, in The Chamomile Lawn, 1992, a British miniseries. She played the younger version of a character later portrayed by her real-life mother, Rosemary Harris. Their resemblance and parallel careers have often been noted by fans and critics alike. Shunning celebrity culture, Elle rarely does press or social media. This has helped maintain her air of mystery and artistic seriousness. She's admired for avoiding the trap of branding herself. Return to the stage. After her film and TV success, she's continued to return to theater, citing the discipline and focus of live performance as rejuvenating. Face mask comparative peers. Where Elle fits in the acting landscape, though not as widely recognized by the public, within industry circles Elle is often compared to actresses like Harriet Walter, another transatlantic performer known for intellectual gravity, Laura Linney, for emotional nuance and balanced vulnerability, Olivia Williams, for being equally at home in period dramas and sharp contemporary work, Juliette Binoche, for her ability to carry a scene without force. What they share: quiet mastery, sharp intelligence, and artistic integrity. Trophy cultural recognition and fanbase. Jennifer Elle has an unusually dedicated following among Austen enthusiasts. Many still view her as the definitive Elizabeth Bennet. Theater lovers, especially for her work in Stoppard, Shakespeare, and contemporary drama. Prestige TV fans, who discovered her through The Looming Tower, 1923, and Dead Ringers. She's also developed a niche fanbase in academic and literary circles. Often cited for her roles in adaptations of classic novels, The Chamomile Lawn, Possession, Pride and Prejudice, A Quiet Passion. Thread recurring themes in her work across her body of work. Elle is drawn to roles that involve moral clarity under pressure, characters who choose integrity, even at a cost, emotional restraint, often playing women who keep much beneath the surface until it must break through, historical depth, figures shaped by or pushing against the weight of their era. She gravitates towards stories that aren't flashy, but resonate long after the scene ends, which is a major reason her performances tend to age well. Candle quiet influence. Jennifer Elle's name may not trend, but her presence elevates every project she's in. Directors trust her to bring nuance. Writers trust her to find meaning in silence. Audiences sense her authenticity even when they don't recognize her by name. She is, in essence, the actor other actors admire.
Bye bye, see you again. Thanks for watching.